bloody, demonic woman stood in deathly silence as the moon stood above her, glaring brown eyes. Her eyes widened. It seemed as if her gaze could stare into the very soul, wicked or humble. The petrified child looked right into her eyes. She could no longer bear her famished hunger, and immediately fell to her pale knees, her shadow wiping over the child's face. The child shrieked in relentless fear, for there was no escape. She whispered into his ear, "Sleep now, child, sleep." The children all seemed to run away from me, but you did not. Away ran my friends to become sleepyheads. Please hush now, sleep now, dream now. Her dripping black teeth came closer and closer to the boy's face. The boy tried to knock her away when the first solid cut came into his cheek. It did no harm to the reckless villain. Deeper, deeper the teeth went, all the way to the bone, before the child could begin crying. She started to pull back the skin and muscle inside of his cheek, tearing through the face, blood running all down her mouth, dripping down her neck. The boy had no defense. The most piercing scream went out of his mouth as she ripped off the first piece of skin. The scream echoed for miles. Her hands gestured towards his face, coming closer every second. Once the first nail touched his face, all the others went down and dug into the dirty insides of his muscle. She acted as if she had never done this before, but in her cold, black heart, she knew that she had committed this thousands of times. The nails digging deeper and deeper into his skull. The more the helpless boy's eyes rolled back. She finally decided she had gone far enough, and with all her force contracted her arms, ripping all the flesh from the right cheek into the air across her side. A trail of thick red blood came directly behind it. She started to whisper again, "Don't leave. I enjoyed your stay, but if you must go, that's okay." Grasping the knife in her pocket, with no regrets, she took one deep breath. High in the air, the knife went down swiftly. It penetrated the skin and skull in the forehead, making a large slit, going directly through his brain. Her face went down to his forehead once again, and her tongue slowly touched the oozing cut. She began to lick the blood and chew her way into his forehead. She chewed her food with grinding teeth and swallowed. She shook her head a little, back into her disguise of sanity, leaving the corpse on the hard, cold concrete. She turned her head and left, wiping her damp lips and her arm. wiping her damp lips with her arm. Each footstep was quiet. She dropped a paper in her back pocket. It is believed it was handwritten ink on papyrus, and the paper foretold the legend of Dr. Lorina, an archaeologist who was digging through old New York grounds, finding no luck. However, his luck changed when he found this piece of paper. The legend is told in a small story and goes as the following news report source. There was a woman. Her name was unknown. Her life was anonymous. Her parents abandoned her at birth. She walked the filthy streets, teaching herself everything. But she never learned what real food was. She is now a cannibal. They call her Malia Mandacare Philly, as her full name was in Latin for the woman to eat the children. She devoured my 3-year-old daughter Rachel. It may seem silly, but it's true. I apologize for not being a good writer, but I know her story. She is out there. If you found this paper, please help yourself. Mark Traw. Mark's corpse was found along the streets the next day with a marking on his chest of 090909. It is presumed to be the time he died, in coordination to the note. Here is the peculiar remainder of this report. However, there is a secret that has not been divulged into the public. It was seen in many places such as Georgia, Florida, New York, West Virginia, Maryland, and even California. The body of Mark Traw was seen hanging from the United States flag in every city of the state. Alive, it is claimed that Mark Traw was murdered in the first degree by a cannibal called Moliere. She is a wicked woman. If you see her, or if you know what she looks like, contact the police immediately. If you're looking for Moliere, you need only but to go to sleep, thinking about her. Sleep, child. Everyone is a child in Moliere's eyes. Sleep. Sweet dreams.